At the end of tutorial 2, you were given a practice question asking you to produce an output that describes yourself. There is an illustration given for you to understand what you need to do. In this video, I'm going to help you do that. So you will go to your IDE, which is in my case Visual Studio Community. I'm going to go File and then select New Project. I will create a new project. I'll name my project any name. So I'll call it my second project. And then I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to create my CPP. So right click from here and then I'll click Add and then New Item. And then I'm going to select CPP file just as we said last time. And I'm going to call my file Myself.cpp. It's going to be taking the same extension CPP. And then I'll click Add from here. Now I included #include IO stream. Let's put using namespace. std, and don't forget there is a semicolon right here for you to put, and then I'm gonna put int main, put my brackets, and then open the curly brackets, and here I'm going to insert the statements for my program. Now we will use the cout statement to print text on the screen, so I'm gonna put down here cout, and then I'm gonna put, for example, name, and then I can copy this piece of information and paste it. Now I'll change the content, so I can put, for example, job, and then I put my job. And put one more piece of information for illustration, gender, female. Once I'm done with some of the statements that introduce me, I'm gonna put here the statement system pause, that makes the screen of the output pause so I can see what the output is. And then I'll put here the last statement in any function, main function, or one of the statements of the main function that you can end the main function with, return 0. Now I can build my code. So I'll go from here and click build solution. I have here the result of my building, 1 succeed, 0 failure, which means you have no compilation errors, you have no problem in your syntax, and you can run the program. If I go from debug and select the option start without debugging, I can see the output. I have here the output. Everything is next to each other, as you can see, which is not what I want, so we will change that right now. But before changing that I would like to change the screen color here, or the output screen color, from black to white. So I'll go from here, this menu on the side, and then I'll get down to the last option, one click only to access this menu, and select properties. Okay, I have here the last tab, which says colors. I want the on-screen text to be black, so I'll select black from here for the on-screen color. and I want the screen color, which is black right now, I want it to be white. So I'll have a white background and black text. And I can go also for the font. That's all optional for you to do. And I'll select from here the text to be 24. That makes the things look better, so you can see the output in a better, much more better. So I have here my name, my job, and the gender, but everything is next to each other. I'll close the output screen and get back to my code. I here want between these statements, between the name, the job, and the gender, I want in between them lines. So I'll go at the end here of the first statements, which have my name, and then I'm gonna click the insertion operator, and then I'm gonna click type down endl. Endl is a modifier that makes name Marwa going to be printed on one line, and then it's as if enter, so endl as if enter, and then I'm going to see job programmer on the second line. So endl is actually like an enter. I can put here a comment for you. Comments are very important in programming because it makes your code more readable, and it makes you understand, especially when the codes get really very long, you need to add comments so you can remember what you have written in your codes. Let me here go and run this program. I can just go and debug, start without debugging. If I have an error, it will occur right here, but it seems that no problem. So what happens here when I look into the output screen, I have name Marwa and then enter, which is because of the endl, and then I have here job programmer and the gender and so on. Let me get back to the code and do one more thing here. I'll go here, do you see here job programmer? I won't use the modifier endl. Instead of it, I'll use the escape character /n. It should be inserted in between quotations. So here I don't have to make another insertion operator. I'll just directly put /n after the word programmer. What happens here is as if after programmer I pressed enter. So the gender female is going to occur on a new line. Let's see that. We'll go here debug, and then I'm going to start without debugging, which is Control F5. Yes, if I have an error, it will occur, but since we don't have an error, everything seems looking well. So I have the output here, name Marwa, job programmer, and female. One more thing that is annoying for me, press any key to enter to continue. I want this line to occur on a new line. So I'll close that, and I'll go over here and I'll press, or I'll just add the modifier endl. After, I just have to put here before the endl the insertion operators, and let me do here Control F5 to see the output. And this is what I wanted to have. You can write these three statements actually in one statement. You can put it all in one statement. How could we do that? If I get back here, I'll just remove the C out here, and I now have the first sentence written name Marwa, and then the endl, which is enter, and then I'll have the second statement, which is job programmer, and then I'm gonna remove the semicolon, get here, just press enter so you can see what is going on, and I just have the operator. So everything is written with using one statement, and what's separating the sentences from one another is the insertion operator. Let me see the output in my case. Okay, debug, and then start without debugging. Yes, we would like to build to know if we have a mistake. If we don't have a mistake, and I've got the same output. There are several escape characters that you can use other than the /n, which means a new line. one popular is actually the /t, which is for making a tab in between words. If I want to use the /t, I can, for example, in between name and Marwa, I don't want a space, but I want a tab, more than one space. So I'll put here slash and then t. Let me compile this for you and see the output in this case. See here, name and then tab, which is around 5 spaces. And then I have here Marwa. I can even do it in a better way if I want here /t before the word name. Control F5. Let's see. I have it here. It looks much better, and I can repeat for the rest of the sentence. Just few tips for you. Let's say that you made here an error and you forgot to type the semicolon. Automatically, if you forgot to type the semicolon here or at any other statement, you will get an error, okay, on the next statement telling you that there is something wrong with this statement. It's actually what's wrong, that you missed or you forgot the semicolon on the line before. Let's say you ignored this error and you try to run the program. So Control F5 here. Okay, he would ask you if you would like to build the last successful build. I would say no, because I would like to see actually what happens if I have an error. He says here what type of error you have. He says here you have a syntax error, missing semicolon before return. So it indicates to you, or it tells you what error do you have. I have to put here a semicolon. Once I do that and I compile the code, I will get everything okay. There are a couple of points I would like to mention at the end of this video. The first point is that C++ is case sensitive, which means capital is different than small. All the commands written in lowercase, except for the messages in between quotation, could be written with however you want, capital or small, but the C++ commands are all in small letter. The other point that I would like to mention is that I highly recommend using comments. There are two types of comments. The first is the inline comment, which is just written as this using 2 slashes, and you can write down a single line comment here. So for example, start coding. If you want a longer comment that goes on several lines, you have to use the other type of comments, which is this type, \***, and you can write here multiple lines. So I can just take a copy this, and just put in between them lines. Now try these things out, and if you have any trouble, just contact me.